Hey guys, Bobby Thompson back with another video, and in this video I just wanted to reach out to the Globe Earth community and say thank you for the Flatty Award. It's my first Flatty Award. I certainly was not expecting it. I want to thank the people on the back end that went in and did all the work making this happen. And as we continue into 2023, I look forward to racking up many more Flatty Awards. Hopefully I'll have a wall of Flatty Awards. And let's look at the guy who nominated me for this. Arctic Reflections, a stupidity debunk channel. It's not insulting at all. He specializes in debunking stupidity. I certainly wouldn't take that as an insult. 9 reasons why this flat earther is a joke. All right. I mean, you're obviously a man of intellect. Scholarly. This is exactly how I expect scholars and intellects to conduct themselves. I don't know you. You don't know me. We haven't had a conversation. And you just go around calling people a joke and you debunk stupidity. That's great. Well, some people wait decades. Some people go their entire career and they never have a hit piece done on them. It took Neil deGrasse Tyson decades into his career before he got a hit piece done on him. 4 women had to accuse him of drugging and raping them before he had a hit piece done. And I was fortunate enough to have a hit piece done after a few weeks of talking about flat Earth. I could not be more thankful for the people who organized it. I know this is off topic, but if you haven't seen this, these are some great videos done by FlatHeadPolitics. Go watch them. The links are right there, or you can just YouTube his channel. But back to the topic. This gentleman who's a Navy officer, I mean, I feel sorry for people in the Navy. If this is the best we've got at positions of command, I can only assume everyone he does these videos on, he's this infatuated with. He sent me 20 some odd messages. This goes on to a whole other page. And I ignored and ignored and ignored. But he's doing these hit pieces on channel after channel after channel, I guess, right? Like this guy's infatuated with this subject, right? Not Bigfoots, not chupacabras. He's apparently an atheist, if I remember correctly. But he doesn't do this, if you believe in God, that's all okay, right? But you can believe on some very big subjects. So I don't know what, some highly debatable subjects, and he's okay with that. But flat Earth he's not okay with, and it makes him very angry. I do want to talk about one thing I responded to. So he kept making accusations, and his accusations is that you don't understand anything. You have no understanding of science. You're brainless. You're an amoeba. You're unevolved. And he says, I am able to say with 100% certainty, this is absolute, 100% certainty, that the claim that astronomical navigation only works on a flat Earth, in reality, it only works on a globe, only. So I responded, are you saying that if I put a small light over the center of my living room floor, that I cannot use that light to triangulate my location on my living room floor and navigate to objects on my living room floor using a map of my living room floor? Do you honestly believe that? Regarding your living room floor, I am confident that you can navigate it, but that doesn't correspond to reality. So your statement was that you could say with 100% certainty that astronomical navigation only works on a globe, but I can navigate my living room, my flat living room floor using a light in the sky, and that works. That's interesting. To me, I interpret that as on the micro, it does work. And on the macro, I actually have a problem with macro. I'm not going to get into that right now. I'm not going to get into how you get your zenith angles off a apparent horizon. We'll save that for another day. Actually, hopefully I never have to interface with you. But you come off as though flat earthers are ignorant and uneducated, and then you give an example of this absolute science that you subscribe to, and it's off, right? It's up for debate. Anyway, I'm not going to spend too much time on that. in closing, I do want to talk about one thing though, and it pertains to every globe Earth proponent that has at some point in a debate or started a debate, and I've seen debates even started this way. I can think of one between Dell and Austin Witsit, where Dell's whole premise was, he says, I'm not even going to get into the science. We can settle this whole thing with why would they do it? Why the lie, right? And it's a pretty major thing, right? It is typically the showstopper for people looking into a flat Earth. And I want to add some context to this as well. If you haven't seen a flat Earth debate, flat Earth, globe Earth debate, go watch one. Go watch 5. They're entertaining. Go to Modern Day Debate, which they sponsor a lot of globe Earth / flat Earth debates on top of religious debates, political debates, morality debates, theological debates. But there's a lot of them on flat Earth. And watch the people, the globe Earth proponents, like McToon, like Fight the Flat Earth, like Dell, like David Vellar, Planar Walk, whoever. Watch how they interact with the flat earther. I did a video on Austin Witsit and Jeranism, Jaron Campanella from Jeranism, who had this debate with David Vellar and Planar Walk, and watch the video and watch David Vellar have an absolute meltdown. Jaron Campanella never interrupts, not one time, never used a cuss word, was calm, composed, professional. In my opinion, Austin was as well. And on the other side, you had belittling, name calling, you had cussing, you had yelling, you had interrupting, ad hom attacks. It was, I would be embarrassed to have the globe Earth proponents represent me. And if I were a globe Earther. But why is this anger come from these men who claim to be intellects, right? These are supposed to be the intellects of our time. They feel intellectual enough to go on debate channels and put themselves down in history. Why? Why do they have these strong emotions? And why is this the topic that they chose for, their work, right? Their channels are dedicated to this. Why flat Earth? Why not chupacabras? Why not Bigfoot? Why not UFOs? Why not Santa Claus? Why not, God versus no God? Why? There's so many things. Why flat Earth? And why can't you have an intellectual discussion about it? Well, the reason why is that it attacks your belief system. It's the only one. Santa Claus, chupacabra, Bigfoot, UFOs, whatever, they don't attack your belief system. Flat Earth would destroy your belief system. I know this is something that you can't conceive. You can't conceive it until you cross over it, right? You can't even imagine the ramifications. There's so many ramifications. They extend, they permeate into everything, into politics, into religion, into history, into science, into everything. If you cross over into being a flat earther, I think one of the first things you realize is that you're being lied to. That goes hand in hand. Yes, absolutely. A lot of the realizations are things that were completely kooky to you before you were a flat earther, and they still look kooky. We still realize we look kooky. We understand that. Like, there's that disconnect between your reality and my reality. We can fully analyze that, and we do understand we look like kooks. That's why we have to be so certain of what we believe to go out here and put ourselves out there like that. But, could you trust the government as the flat earther? No, absolutely not. Do all governments have to be conspiring together? Yeah, they absolutely do. There would have to be someone in charge of them. There would have to be, someone would have to be manipulating science and history. There would have to be a reason for all this. That's, what could possibly be the reason? Well, there's only one conclusion you can draw, and I'm not going to draw that conclusion, right? I think it's obvious right now. It should be obvious to you if you haven't drawn that conclusion. But if you haven't, it just goes to show you that you can't imagine the ramifications and where they lead to. So That's why it's such an attack. That's why flat Earth is the largest attack on your belief system. And that's why they've gone out of the way to alienate flat earthers, right? To such an extent. I can think back to Joe Rogan trying to line up a debate between Eric Dubay and Neil deGrasse Tyson, and Neil accepted it and then later retracted it. And he says, you know what? The best thing to do is ignore these people. We're not gonna, we're just gonna ignore them. That's what you should do. You should never enter into a debate with a flat earther. This is Neil deGrasse Tyson, and this is what they want to normalize. They want to normalize that you look like a retard to enter it. Now, you can debate atheism, you can debate Bigfoot, you can debate UFOs. That's all normal. But why? Why, as a science educator, why? I thought that's what you're there to do. This is the irony of it, is that the real irony is that there's so many things you can't answer. That's the truth. That's the truthful of it. That's the truthfulness of it. If that weren't true, you would Neil deGrasse Tyson, you would debate Eric Dubay or Austin Witsit. Or I can think of some really sharp ones that, but you won't. You won't debate any of them. And this is what's propagated out there is that you should ostracize them. You shouldn't interact with flat earthers. It's an embarrassment if you do. You're sub-intelligent if you drop to their level. That's basically what Neil deGrasse Tyson has said. If you have to be a non-intellectual, you have to be sub-intelligent, however you want to say that, if you even entertain the debate. So, in closing, it's an attack on your belief system if you're a globe earther. And everything about your reality would do a 180. You would enter a reality that you can't even fathom. You can't fathom it unless you were to make the crossover. I was a devout atheist. I cursed God all the time. I didn't think he was real. I didn't think there was a creator. And flat Earth brought me to the creator. So that's the problem. Right? That's why there's only one reason, is that you don't want people to believe in a God. You want people to be atheists, right? That is the Copernican principle, right? We can't occupy a central position in the cosmos because that would be horrific, and that must be avoided at all costs, right? That's one of their. I believe that's Edwin Hubble that said that. Don't quote me on who it was, but it was one of their notable astronomers or physicists. But that's why. So if you want to know why, it's because flat Earth would change your entire belief system, and it would destroy all the lies. So hope you enjoyed the video. Take care. See you in the next one.